Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Muddy Muddy, Marsha E, Snuggle Bunny. I don't see who else is here, so I'm gonna refresh. Well, they'll pop in. I'm looking at something my sister sent to me. All right. So good morning. It's Friday. Happy Friday. I've done good this week. I did 3 morning lives. Is it three? I've done great. So Lord, we have some news. So, remember, I showed you the video of the woman that was beaten. Hi, D Man. How are you? And yesterday someone told me that Ethan quit, right? So when I got off the live, I was looking to see can I find it. Ethan Platt, I can't find it. Hi, Wisco Gal. Any news? Any news? Anything? I don't see anything. Nothing. Nothing. But I showed you the video of the woman that hemmed up Bustamante in jail for killing Genesis. There is new court documents that has been released of the abuse this child suffered. And then we have Jake Harrow's attorney. He's gone out and made a statement, and if you look at Lisa Banfield's face, you already know she don't believe a damn thing he's saying. And then she had a detective on that stated he does not believe this child was kidnapped. See, I was kind of nothing. Damn. I was kind of hoping that maybe the cousins knew this child was being abused and they found an opportunity to jump her and get this child away from them. But then why would they leave the 2-year-old? But CPS went and removed that 2-year-old child. We haven't had anything updated on Brian Vasquez. Heidi, I can't believe you actually still like Veronica. Oh, hold on. Okay, let me explain to you this. Okay. It's not that I like her. I like what she's doing. I like that they're putting their ass on blast. You remember, I didn't like her last year. I said something was off with her. Then I read that Olivia said she's got mental health issues yesterday. But I like what she's doing. And I like how she had Micah kowtowing, which was kind of bad because they put that on screen. But I still want to know what happened at that proposal that they didn't show. Good morning, Queen of O'Hara. Long time. How are you? How's your son doing? It's nice to see you. So I was so it's not that I like her. No. Not like that. I just like the attitude. I love the attitude. Because at one point I was trying to figure out if she was trans myself. But I love the attitude. I just love her attitude. And I can't wait to whatever it says coming up. So I can't wait. She said they keep fucking with me. More bombs are going to drop. I'm like, oh, drop them. We want to hear. We want to know. We know that Ethan is a piece of shit. We know that. Maybe that's why he quit. We know he's a piece of shit. He's homophobic. He's racist. He's disgusting. And we are, oh, of course I would ask you. I haven't seen you. So, that is just, now, I used to like when you would sit outside on your porch or on your back deck in the mornings with the sun and you're having coffee and just watching you on IG. That was fun. And coming up and joining you sometime. Hi, Stephanie Louise. How are you? Okay. So my sister sent me a video, which is of the little boy that's dancing on the neighbor's porch and everything. But she says there's nothing new. They're still looking. And I was like, okay, so I'm keeping an eye on that. But, oh my God, we have so much to get into. So, we're going to do Genesis' story first, okay? I think all of them are she chose to be with the bigot. Yeah. So, here's my thing. You're having coffee now? Okay. Um, they all seem to get into this family, which is like a cult. And then they start turning on them because the way Amber said, and I like how she said it, maybe we're thinkers and not feelers. But, they only grew up with each other. Good morning, Chantel, and welcome in, Stephanie Louise. They only grew up with each other. That's it. They had no outside friends. Nothing. Kim ruled that nest. Hi, Coochie. Good morning, my Coochie. Coochie, it was so funny when I was listening to Jen and she kept talking to you. And I'm like, where the hell is Coochie and who is she talking to? I did not know that you were liar, Momo Pants on Fire. I should have known that was you. I really should have. But anyway, let's get into Genesis, guys. This is trigger warning. These documents are nothing pretty. I think my trigger warning is up. Let me go look because this is a trigger warning. Yes, trigger warning. Okay, it is a trigger warning. This is nothing pretty. And I bring you these stories so we all know what's going on. Okay? We all know what's going on in our corner. And then I'm going to show you the full interview with the inmate that whipped her ass. Okay? So, let me share my screen. Okay. Let's go. Cooch, it's Friday. Are you going to your friend's house again so you can do your content? Okay. Let's see. My eye is itching. And believe me, I've only been up since 4:30.
Details about the death of an 8-year-old girl. Genesis Aria Mata was found dead this weekend inside a bathtub at the La Quinta Inn in central Bakersfield.
The suspects, 31-year-old Ray Mata Jr. and 27-year-old Gracelia Bustamante, were arrested. They pleaded not guilty yesterday. Eyewitness News reporter Maria Celeste Alfaro joins us now to tell us what those documents revealed and what happened to that young girl. Maria?
Michael, Rochelle, court documents showed us that Genesis died a day before the 911 call was made. She was found with severe injuries by her father and stepmother. I do want to warn you.
Now, they said she was found with severe injuries. Remember that. She was found with severe injuries. The medical examiner said she died the day before 911, okay? And then the stepmother states she died the day before. This is crazy.
That some of the details in this story are disturbing and could be hard to hear. Newly released court documents are revealing that the death of 8-year-old Genesis Aria Mata was intentional and involved torture. Authorities say she was found dead on August 2nd inside a central Bakersfield motel room with substantial trauma to her body. Documents suggest those injuries were done with intention by her father, Ray Mata Jr., and her stepmother, Graciela.
He's got the nerve to hide his face after what you did to that child. Oh, yeah, you did. You spent 6 hours looking for my video. He has the nerve to hide his face after what he did to that child.
Bustamante. In the offense report, one of the officers who entered the room described the state he found Genesis, saying she had extensive physical injuries. He found her skin splitting on the top of her head with massive blisters and extensive burns all over her body, including her face. On her back, severe scarring and more burns were found. According to the officer, it looked like she had been whipped multiple times, causing her flesh under the skin to be exposed. Her hair had been almost cut off completely. Finally, the officer finding her fingernails on the left hand being ripped from the nail bed. Another officer who walked into the room was heard saying, quote, "Oh my God," and appeared in shock by covering his mouth. In a police interview with Bustamante, she says that Genesis had been killed on the evening of August 1st, a day before 911 was called. Bustamante claims she witnessed Mata suffocating and punching Genesis in her stomach.
Okay, all right. But if you think, I know it's around August, September sometime. I know that because I had came back off a flight from Cali. So August, September, around that time. Matter of fact, I was in the airport when all this shit started. So it's around that time.
After she wasn't breathing, she said
September.
she saw Mata
September.
perform CPR on Genesis, but neither called 911. She later died. It wasn't until the next day Bustamante called Mata's sister asking them to check on Genesis because she was unconscious.
You heard that, right? Called the sister because she was unconscious. Let's go back.
911. She later died. It wasn't until the next day Bustamante called Mata's sister asking them to check on Genesis because she was unconscious. That's when his mother and sister called 911 and drove to the hotel. Bustamante reportedly said in the interview with police that Mata was an abusive person both physically and verbally. She also revealed that she and Mata would abuse Genesis by pouring boiling water, as well as placing her fingertips in a door frame and shutting the door on them, causing severe injuries to her hand and nails. In a separate interview, Mata claims that most of the abuse was actually done by Bustamante. The report shows that she told officers that Mata would hit the children with a charging cord. At one point, she admitted to watching them being abused, the document saying in part,
She watched them being abused, but then she said that she participated as well. You were doing all of this. The next day, Wendy, the next day, she died the day before. She died the day before. But you watched this. You never once left and called the police. You never did anything to protect. And from what I'm hearing, there were other children that were being abused. Other children that were being abused, not just Genesis.
she watched the children being whipped horribly with wires and hangers a lot. She stated it was not spanking and now called them beatings. She stated she watched Ray Mata Jr. beat the children until their backs bled a lot on many occasions.
Do we see this? She watched this. What is it that this man had to offer you that you were living in a hotel or motel? Hi, Miss Sweet Tooth J. What is it that he offered you that you couldn't leave and get help for those kids if you see they're being beaten and their backs are bleeding? You saw this little girl, you were boiling water and pouring on her. We need to send their ass somewhere. Yep, and they are from El Salvador. I had a friend, her last name was Balmacita, and her sister was married, and her last name was Bustamante.
Before ending the interview, Mata says in part, he beat the children and is responsible for those injuries. However, he did not do any of the burning or fingernail stuff. The documents also state that Mata had an active case with Child Protective Services. The case was reported by school staff after his children was missing school and coming to school with visible bruises. Both Mata and Bustamante are expected back in court later this month. In studio, Maria Celeste Alfaro, Eyewitness News.
All right, Maria, thank you. If you suspect any signs of abuse, there are resources available.
Crazy Cat Mama, where you at?
Abuse
That's your
hotline,
county.
the California 24/7, or the Open Door Network at the numbers there on your screen. Hi, I'm Rochelle Garcia with Eyewitness News Bakersfield Now on YouTube. Thank you for checking out.
Here we go. Here's the inmate. Remember, she's the one that beat her ass in jail. Can you imagine now that the court documents have been released, what she's going to do to her now? Hi, ASOS. Maybe they have her in protective custody. Maybe they put her out there on the yard so they can whip her ass every day and torture her the way she did Genesis. Amber, today you're going live on Texas Girls channel, right? So maybe that's what's going to happen.
Anita Duran, ANITADORON. All right, thank you. So, from my understanding, there was an altercation
Yeah, she whipped her
between
ass.
you and Bustamante. Can you explain a little bit about what
Let me
happened?
drop this, please.
I can't really go into details, but I seen her on the phone and I just proceeded to make actions.
Was there a reason why you chose to do that?
Behind everything I had heard,
Your
the
channel.
fact that I have a little
Okay.
cousin named Genesis, she's 10, just
What have you heard?
a lot on the news about the way that Genesis Mata was treated, the way they found her,
Oh, okay, your community post.
really disgusting details.
Yeah. Besides those details, was there anything else that you heard about Bustamante inside of the facility?
Not really. I mean, some of the girls had seen her not taking it too seriously, as what they said. She had come back from court and she was laughing and giggling and stuff, and they were just like, "Why? What's?"
Laughing and giggling after she came back from court. Oh, there you go. What the hell is going on in Bakersfield in Karnes County when this little girl was abused and tortured? Where were you that you didn't protect this little girl? Okay, that's all I want to know. And why are you under flower power and not your anyway?
Funny. So,
Yeah. Had you had any interaction with Bustamante prior to the incident?
I had asked her, as far as what her charge was, like,
Why
why,
you
what was
sweet?
going
Hi,
on.
Ghost
And she
face.
just seemed kind of spaced out about it.
Oh, I forgot. Is it Eric Menendez? He was denied parole. I think it's the older one. Eric, that's him. He was denied parole.
I know you said she was kind of spaced out about it, and that was the interaction before what happened. But I guess, why did you do what you did to her the day that it happened? Was there something that popped into your head before taking those actions?
Yeah, I had wanted to get on her for a while
Oof.
when I heard.
Would you do
They're
it
going to whip
still?
her ass every day in prison. But I dropped the link
Wow.
for her. She's the one. There you go. Yes, hi. She's the one that whipped Busamante's ass in jail for killing and abusing and torturing Genesis. This is the woman that did it. I dropped the link for her for the full interview so you can see it because we watched it the other day. But here we go. Let's get to our missing Emmanuel. Okay, so the lawyer is now talking.
He's an attorney who has represented Jake Harrow in past cases and is speaking on Jake's behalf today. Hey, Vincent.
Now, I understand. If I had known you know what I know. But here's the thing. This attorney has represented Jake in previous cases of child cruelty. And now you're representing him again. And he has another charge he's due in court for next month of being a convicted felon with a weapon. But you have represented him before. I want to know how much money is this man paying you?
Thank you for doing this today. Big question. Why have Rebecca and Jake stopped cooperating
Listen to
with
this.
the police if they're desperate to find the baby and the police are looking for the baby?
I don't know where the statement that they stopped cooperating came from, Ashley. I spoke
police.
to the detectives yesterday, offered for Jake to continue to speak with them, have not been made aware of any requests today to speak with Jake. I don't represent Rebecca. That needs to be very clear. But I have not been asked to produce Jake. I offered to produce Jake. They voluntarily turned over all of their electronic devices, including the passwords. I think that's something that's huge that nobody has been made aware of.
Let me just stop you for 1 second. I don't want to interrupt you, but you just said you don't know where the statement came from, Mr. Hughes. I'm going to read you the statement the police sent to us.
Now, you're his attorney, right? But You don't know where that statement came from. We all know where that statement came from. We heard it all week that they had stopped cooperating. They had went to the home and no one was answering the door. Now there's a rumor going around on TikTok that they were digging in their backyard. They're saying that's not true. But yeah, you don't know where it came from.
Investigators interviewed multiple individuals, including Emmanuel's parents, Jake and Rebecca Harrow. During those interviews,
Yes.
Rebecca was confronted with inconsistencies in her initial statement and declined to continue with the interview. So the statement came from the police themselves.
They're unable to rule out foul
And
play.
I can't speak to the statement that was sent to you. I can tell you, I have personal knowledge. I reached out to the assigned detective and made Jake available. Jake wants to cooperate. Jake doesn't like the fact that nobody's listening. Court of public opinion is already out. Even yourself, it sounds like you guys already have your mind made up. Jake has voluntarily provided the electronic devices that there was a search warrant for, including the passwords.
Okay, first of all, he didn't voluntarily provide shit. Because if that's the case, a search warrant wouldn't be needed. You get a search warrant because the court is saying you will turn this over. If you were voluntarily doing it, you would have just handed to them, signed off, saying, here you go. I give you permission to go through my devices. So it wasn't voluntarily. Stop saying that. That's not what happened. They got a court order to take your shit.
School that you were saying is breaking news that you brought up at the beginning of this broadcast is not something that is new. They haven't had their vehicle since Thursday night when this alleged kidnapping happened. So it's not new that you're saying at the beginning of this broadcast that it's new
This child
information
had
the
been being
vehicle
abused.
is gone and make it sound like they just took the vehicle today. The vehicle's been gone since Thursday.
Yeah, I haven't made my mind up, but I will say this. This is a case that is definitely different than most missing children cases I cover, and I've done this for 38 years. When the police send me out a statement saying that foul play is potentially afoot, and when we get reports that they brought cadaver dogs to the house, and that the parents aren't cooperating, then yeah, spidey senses go up. I was actually very concerned when Rebecca referred to Emmanuel in past tense.
Yes, she did. Good morning, JJ. In an interview she was doing, even the little girl was saying, we used to like to do this. We used to. It was past tense. George, you got out of jail. Good morning. Hi, JJ. George, you out of jail. George, I was in Jen's chat, and Jen says, I don't know where George is. I said, oh, George is in jail. They said, Heidi, are you serious? And I started laughing. Good morning, George. I just told them you were in jail. But they're saying that they even searched the dumpsters at Five Below. They know where that child is. They did something to that kid. No one is going to say, hola, punch you, knock you, because you're in the truck changing the baby's diaper, according to her. You would fall between the door and the floor. And the thing, she said she got up off the floor. No, honey, that eye was a couple of days old, maybe 3 days old, girl. That's not a fresh black eye. I saw some stuff. Well, no, it was Promise that had fetal alcohol syndrome because the mother used to drink. The ex-wife was drinking when she was pregnant. Now, I haven't seen that Emmanuel had it as well, but they both have the same facial expressions, and they're saying she has those expressions from being abused. But this child, Promise, the young woman that he beat damn near to death at 10 weeks old, she has, at the age of 7, her brain is only working at 3%. 3%. She can't feed. She wears a tube that has to be cleaned out, every 2.5 hours. So he really fucked that young girl up.
Are you aware of that?
I saw the video like anybody else. I can't speak for Rebecca. I can tell you that she doesn't have a master's degree, bachelor's degree, any other degree in public speaking. So I can't speak as to that. Same thing for Jake.
That's what
The
I was
thing that
thinking,
I
George.
don't understand, and like you're saying, this isn't like a normal investigation. Why has the sheriff's department not even released a missing persons flyer? Let's put the onus on.
Why hasn't the sheriff department issued a missing persons flyer? Really? Because the sheriff believes there's foul play. Yes, Promise is the 10-week-old baby that he beat. Exactly. That's the 10-week-old baby he beat.
Well,
There's
they
not
did.
been one search party.
No,
Organized.
they did. They released
If
the
you can
missing
provide that
persons
to us,
flyer.
we'd
We
love to
showed
see
it.
it.
Wait a minute. She had the black eye. See, I said that black eye was days old. She had that black eye at a family funeral, and Emmanuel was not present. Oh my God. Hi, Solo Writer. Good morning. Welcome in. Oh my God. I said that eye was old. That's not fresh. You do not get punched in the eye that day or hours before and you get black and green, a little red under there. You're swollen. It takes a couple of days for the discoloration and everything to come in. Yes, Ghostface, he beat a 10-week-old baby. I'm gonna
we've
hold on.
been
Let
showing
me
it right now on the
find
air.
that picture.
No, that's actually provided by mom and dad. Look at the phone numbers. Actually, let's
Okay.
be clear about that. Mom
Hold
and
on.
dad
So
did
that's
that.
the parents'
that
one?
Has mom and dad's phone numbers.
Let me
It
ask my
doesn't have-
control room.
It doesn't
Let
have
me
a
ask
phone
my.
number for police.
I got you. Vincent, I got you. Let me ask my control room if they can also find a picture of the flyer that we were told by the police that they had
Yeah, I
released
missed-
because
hold
they
on, let me go
could
to this
not
tab.
invoke an Amber
Let me
Alert.
find
Listen,
a
Hughes, I know you know as an
picture.
attorney, you can't issue an Amber Alert unless you have a vehicle and a license
Yep.
plate. Otherwise, there'd be Amber Alerts going off
He's
pretty
an
much every
attorney. He
5
should
minutes
know
of every
that.
day, and nobody would respond. So I'm just being told by my control room we don't have a picture of the police flyer, but the police told us they released a flyer. Can you tell me this? KTLA is reporting that the Harrow's 2-year-old has been removed from the home. Is that true?
That's what everybody's stating. I mean, Mr.
But you're the
Harrow
attorney.
have not
Well,
been
he's your
alleged
client.
to
Has
have
your
Thank
client
you.
told you? Do you know from your client if he's lost
he
his
doesn't have a
2-year-old
2-year-old. Yes,
child
he's
from the
told me that
home?
he doesn't have. That the child has been removed and law enforcement wanted them to produce the child. Yes, he did produce the child. As far as is the child in the home, no. Mr. Harrow does not have his 2-year-old and is not being allowed access to his 2-year-old, even though no criminal filing has taken place. They had the children before this alleged incident with no criminal case filed. So I don't know what changed. There's nothing here that's been provided that they did anything unfoot
I see
to these
Lisa. It's
children.
Ashley.
The 2-year-old or 7-month-old
I always
baby
want to call
Daniel. The
her
reason
Lisa.
I'm on this show, to be very clear, is they're begging for the public to help. They're begging for people to provide information. There was a missing tip that was not provided previously, or it was provided to law enforcement. Law enforcement did not provide it to anybody else. And until I started speaking with media this morning, now law enforcement acknowledges, oh yes, we were aware of that tip. Law enforcement is being very tight-lipped about the situation. That's what's concerning. No search parties have been organized. These parents don't have a vehicle. Like I said, they voluntarily gave up all of their devices after a search warrant was issued. They gave passwords and everything. How can they assist in this? Their home is in a very remote area, in an area where it's over 100 degrees during a heat wave. They have no reliable transportation. They don't have phones or internet to contact people because their devices have been taken. So how can they participate? Everyone's made their mind up and saying that they're refusing to do anything. They can't.
Hold on. I think that let's just jump in right there. How you asked the question, how can they assist in this? Well, they could assist by continuing to be cooperative with the police. That would be the #1 starter. Don't you believe that?
I'm telling you right now, Ashley, on national news, if the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department would like to speak with Jake Harrow, we can make that happen tonight. I'm telling you that right now.
What about Rebecca?
Thank you, Rebecca. But he
I
doesn't
don't
represent
Rebecca, so I can't
Rebecca.
make a statement for Rebecca.
Okay. Did Jake tell the police and Rebecca that she couldn't take a lie detector test?
I wasn't there. I can't confirm or deny that story. And in any event, I think
what an
You don't know that from
attorney.
your client, though? You haven't spoken. Let me just ask you, because he said we need an attorney present, and the reporting is from the police is that Rebecca refused to take a lie detector test because Jake, her husband, said no unless there's an attorney present, and you are his attorney. Did he not discuss that with you?
He asked for his attorney to be present, from my understanding. As far as the lie detector test, no attorney in their right mind is going to say yes. Submit to something that's not admissible in court.
Okay, excuse me.
You find a
Well,
case
it's not
where
admissible in
somebody.
court.
Why wouldn't you allow your client to take a lie detector test if she's trying to prove the fact that she didn't do anything to that child? Yes, I would take a lie detector test. No, but he represented him in his other child cruelty case against Promise. And I'm going to show you that picture of Promise and what he did to Promise. I will show it again. But yeah, why would he let his wife take a lie detector test? Why?
But if my child was missing, Mr.
Hi,
Hughes, I would take
caregiver.
any test you asked me to. I would cooperate. You could
Thank
lock
you.
me up for the rest of my life, and I would cooperate with the police.
I'm glad you said that, but it's easy to say something and it's a different sort of walk in somebody's shoes. There is not a normal for how you handle these situations. It's easy for everybody to state what should be happening and what's normal, but there's various situations for what's normal. We have everything from how John Walsh handled the situation to how Casey Anthony handled the situation.
Don't even use Casey Anthony. John Walsh and his wife completely cooperated with the police when Adam went missing. Don't ever put John Walsh in your shit. You can use Casey Anthony, but not John Walsh. Okay? We know what Casey Anthony did. They just couldn't prove it. Don't use John Walsh. Something totally different. Totally different. Okay? Don't do that.
Yeah, well, there is no blueprint, as you say. This is an alarming situation for everyone involved, and it is awful. I will say to you tonight,
Exactly,
it is awful
George.
if they truly are victims of someone taking their baby, and half the world believes, or maybe more than half the world believes, that there's something afoot with them. I can't imagine being in their shoes at all. Could you just confirm, because I'm not sure I'm 100% clear, Mr. Hughes, could you just confirm that their 2-year-old child has been taken from the home now?
He said they weren't, but yes.
The 2-year-old child is not at their home. I can confirm it.
Taken from their home by authorities?
Based on my understanding, that's a potential. I believe that the 2-year-old was removed.
This is his attorney. He doesn't know. I believe the 2-year-old was removed. The 2-year-old is with the cousin that has the other 2 kids. Jesus Christ.
But I cannot tell you 100%.
That's
I can tell you the 2-year-old was not
Thank
at home.
you, Ashley.
It's troubling that there's no allegations and that 2-year-old was removed.
Well, listen, there's more than allegations. Your client, has a rap sheet including child cruelty. So there are some reasons why they might have done that, and until they are thoroughly investigated to make sure every child is safe in that home. I really appreciate you being on. This is not an easy interview for you to do. This is an awful situation for everybody involved, and certainly for your client and his wife. It could go either way. I don't know if she's telling the truth, if he's telling the truth, and I don't know if they are horribly victimized in all of this. But Mr. Hughes, I do appreciate your time, and I appreciate your candor.
He wasn't
candid. The only thing I'm asking, Ashley, this is one that just Mr. Harwell wanted me to make sure.
Let's look at this real quick. I don't want to hear nothing else he has to say, because he's a liar. And I understand that he is. Okay, this is Promise. Let's go look at Promise. This is what he did to Promise. This is what Jake.
She is recovering here from several. This. When we show you those photos, they are quite disturbing. So, fair warning in advance. Here is the little girl in her hospital bed, 10 weeks old. She is recovering here from several fractures to her ribs, to her skull, and to her legs. She is also recovering. Here is the little girl in her hospital bed, 10 weeks old. She is recovering here from several fractures to her ribs, to her skull, and to her legs. She is also recovering from a brain hemorrhage. This little girl was eventually removed from the Harrow home, and she was adopted by one of Vanessa's cousins. That cousin has cared for this little girl and even renamed her. Her new name is Promise Faith. According to the cousin, Promise is now 7 years old. But take a look at this picture. The damage that she suffered from those injuries was permanent. Promise was left blind. Promise was left unable to walk. Promise was left unable to talk and unable to swallow due to strangulation. We are told from this cousin
He strangled this baby. He got 4 years work release. Are you fucking kidding me? And they left, and then they got divorced, and he's had other kids. This is what he did to his daughter in 2018.
that Promise has 3% brain function, that Promise needs a feeding tube, and that Promise will need round-the-clock care for the rest of her life. So let's just contemplate this as you see these pictures.
Look, same facial expressions, everything.
Jake Harrow, who beat this child, received 6 months in jail and probation afterwards. The same cousin who adopted this little girl, Promise, also took in Jake's oldest son, who she says was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. That child was named after his father, Jake.
He changed his name.
But the cousin also renamed the little boy. His new name is Carlos. And now this same cousin who has taken in 2 of Jake Harrow's children, one that Jake Harrow beat into a lifelong condition, another that was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. Now this cousin is caring for a 3rd child removed from the Harrow home just this week.
So the older son had fetal alcohol syndrome, the oldest one. This is crazy. 6 months and then 4 years work release. And the ex-wife did 6 months as well.
A 2-year-old child was taken out of Jake and Rebecca's care. I'm joined now by true crime digital creator Abby Escobar.
So she had Abby up there, but I just want you guys to look at what you did to this child.
That has been moved into the cousin's care. And of course, we're showing it's hard to tell, but Promise, again, who's now about 7, has some of the same facial features as her little brother, Emmanuel.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people have wondered.
That child is being beaten just like Promise was. And they don't want it discovered. So they came up with this plot that someone, she was changing the diaper. She had went to get a mouth guard. First, she said she went the day before. Hi, my Muggsy. I guess we're back to JJ. Muggsy says, I'm his number 1, damn it. Thank you, Muggsy. You my number 1. Well, yeah, you my number 1 too. Just kidding, George. But you my number 1 too, Muggsy. Thank you for the super chat. So everybody has noticed they have the same facial features. And I don't mean just by being brother and sister. The same look of abuse that little girl has is what that little boy has. So, yeah.
As Emmanuel beaten the same way that Promise was beaten so as to have rendered him with those same facial features. Do you know anything about that?
So I don't, but I've been talking about this on my TikTok and
Where's
my
your
Facebook.
cat, Mama? I'm going to call you
there
later,
have been
too.
a lot of comments saying
I'm going
things
to tell
like
you
that.
what you did.
People noticing the similarities. It really has to make you wonder.
Well, all of it is just sort of unbelievable that these kids still lived in the home after this little child, Promise, was rendered in this condition from the beating she received from her father, according to the cousin. Let's talk about the cousin, Vanessa Avila's cousin. And let's remember, Rebecca Harrow is the woman who is claiming that her baby Emmanuel was taken from her when she was hit over the head. Her husband, Jake, was married to another woman, a woman named Vanessa Avila. She also pleaded guilty to the beating of baby Promise. Why is it that this cousin feels it's so important to get this story out and to get those pictures out?
Well, the question is, do we think the cousin had anything to do with getting that baby? I doubt it, because they've already taken the 2-year-old. So I'm telling you, they did something to that child. I'm going to call you later because I got my mail but I didn't get it to the other day because you didn't have the correct, well, your daughter didn't have the correct address. So I'm going to call you. But your granddaughter is absolutely gorgeous in that picture.
Well, I think that she feels that justice wasn't served the first time, which, I mean, it obviously wasn't, but
That baby is not happy. That
she
baby's
hasn't told me
abused.
directly, but she has made comments to the point of, if justice would have been served the first time, then this wouldn't have happened
Yep.
to more children. So she's personally affected by this
cousin,
because...
Yeah, does this cousin of Vanessa Avila believe the story that the Harrows are telling on TV in this clip
Nope.
right here, where she says, I was hit in the head, I woke up, the baby was gone, please help me find the baby? The cousin doesn't believe it. What has she told you?
Absolutely not. Excuse me. She said that when she first heard the news story, it just broke her to pieces. She immediately had a feeling, as I feel most people have.
But let me ask something. Why didn't the cousin call CPS to have these? I'm not saying, well, yeah, I am saying that. You know the history of this man. You know you've already got 2 of his kids. You now 3. You know what he's done. Why didn't you call CPS just to have these kids checked on? Why wasn't CPS involved in their life? Why weren't they going out and checking on these kids, putting eyes on these children? Why wasn't CPS doing that? That's a question for Bakersfield CPS, well, Kern County. I want to know, why weren't they out checking on these kids, knowing the history this man has of abusing children? Why? Why?
The story just doesn't really make very much sense.
Yeah, the police have said it doesn't make sense. They've put out a statement that her stories don't add up and that they believe foul play is possible. They've taken cadaver dogs to the Harrow
I want to know
home.
if she called.
There are reports that there were some kind of digging activity at the Harrow home as well. In the meantime, just knowing now about this history, about these 3 other children now living in Vanessa Avila's cousin's care, how are those children now?
Thriving.
How is this cousin, and I understand she wants to remain nameless, she's also putting out a plea to everyone, please stop. Don't come to my children's school. Reporters showed up at her children's school. I mean, how are they managing through all of this?
The kids, they're wonderful. The cousin has provided these kids with such an amazing life. She and her husband, they love them. They take wonderful care of them. The children are happy and they're well.
They have to be good people to take in Promise with all of the disabilities she has and take care of that child the way they do. They really have to be good people, because I don't think too many people would take in a child that's not theirs, even if it's a relative's, with a child that has that, all those needs. I'm sure they may have a nurse there as well, but that's a commitment to take care of a child like that. Jesus Christ.
I mean, Promise has to have round the clock care and a feeding tube. She's unable to feed because of the strangulation reportedly. It's just, that is an enormous amount of work that they are putting into the care of this poor child. I just don't understand how it only yielded 6 months and also yielded a father who was allowed to come out and still have 3 children in his home. That's the part I don't understand. Are there any other details that this cousin shared?
Well, she said that Promise, they were told that they didn't think she would even live a week after this happened, but they have done everything they can for this little girl to keep her going. She's got the tracheostomy tube. She has to be suctioned frequently so she doesn't choke on her own mucus.
Hi,
the feeding tube. She can't walk. She can't talk. She's blind. It's just horrible. But I mean, she said that Promise is her miracle baby, and really she is. It's amazing that she survived that. 10 weeks old.
It is, but Just tragic that she was, condemned to a life like this because of the acts of her father.
Absolutely.
That's attempted murder. That's attempted murder. You strangled a 10-week-old baby. That's attempted murder.
And
MRH
then
is
he,
waiting.
and then he
you
I
gets
know,
to
heard
is
some
remarry.
disturbing news about
Yeah.
Mr.
And then he gets to remarry
Jimenez.
and have more kids. And there's no intervention, there's no concern. And now a 7-month-old baby is gone. I just feel like more should have been
and here
done.
we have this, this report at 10 weeks old. I mean, at 10 weeks old, a newborn is so helpless and so tiny and can do so little to upset us, except,
Nothing.
create just the utmost joy to know that anyone was capable of creating that much damage to a 10-week-old. I dare say I am very concerned about baby Emmanuel and what might have happened to baby Emmanuel, but it's starting to look more and more suspicious. These pleas for help to find baby Emmanuel. Abby, thank you for your reporting. Break in to the show if you
6
learn
months in jail, 4 years work release program.
more throughout the. I know this is all very much developing, and you're learning as you go.
But I wanted
just
you guys
break
to
in
see
and
that
bring.
so you can see what he did to Promise to everybody that missed it when I played it the other day. That's what he did to Promise. Okay? Oh my God. When I heard about what happened to Genesis, and then when they released those court documents and the torture this young girl received was just totally fucked up. And then the best news is, Amber, I don't know if you were following this story. Cindy Singh, you remember her the 6-year-old went missing and the whole family jumped on the flight to India. Guess what? They got the bitch. They got her. They got her. They got her. They got her yesterday.
Breaking news right off the top at 4 o'clock. Cindy Singh, the North Texas mom on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list for the murder of her 6-year-old son, captured. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for CBS News Texas at 4. I'm Karen Borda.
And I'm Ken Molesina. We got word of her arrest just about 40 minutes ago, so let's get right to it. We've got Nicole Baker. She's live for us now in the newsroom with the details of really what we've just learned, Nicole.
Yeah, Ken and Karen, this is one of those cases that we never forgot about, right? The last confirmed sighting that we knew of Singh, that was in March of 2023. So we're talking 2 years at this point. That's when Singh, her husband, and 6 children got on a flight out of the DFW airport headed to India. But you know who wasn't on that flight? 6-year-old Noel Alvarez Rodriguez. He has not been seen since November of 2022, and his family didn't even report him missing for at least 5 months. We went through the whole process. There was an Amber Alert. Authorities searched the family's home in Everman. Even digging in the backyard, they didn't find anything. The family left the country while authorities were still trying to find this Everman boy's body. But a grand jury did indict Singh, you'll remember, in October of 2023 on capital murder. But that's when she fled the country. Noel had...
They indicted her for capital murder, but not him, the husband. There is her and all the kids going to India.
Special needs. He is now presumed dead, unfortunately. But after they searched and searched, they still never found a body. Again, Cindy Singh is now in custody. It is not clear where she was arrested in India specifically, but we do have a crew on the way right now to the Everman Police Department, hoping to get some more answers from there, and we'll keep you all updated here on air and online at CBS News Texas. Karen?
Yeah, as you mentioned, Nicole, this is just one story that's kind of haunted all of us.
Yeah,
so,
can't
it's nice to see some development in this, and we'll definitely continue to follow it. Appreciate that.
This is the one where the young woman went missing and she was pregnant. They got him. Got him.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jason Mohan for the Commonwealth. Based on the charge of murder, the Commonwealth is asking that Your Honor hold the defendant without bail. This incident stems from the recovery of a body last evening. The incident started on August 8th when this defendant, Gregory Groom, contacted the Rehoboth Police Department to indicate that his ex-girlfriend, identified as 18-year-old Kylie Montero, was missing. Mr. Groom reported that Miss Montero was at his house, that she was looking for a place to stay. They got into an argument. and that she ultimately left his residence walking down the driveway, and she hadn't been seen or heard from since. Ms. Montero was known to be very active on social media, and he hadn't heard from her, neither had her friends or family, on any social media in the following days. When Mr. Groom reported her missing, Rehoboth police responded to the scene and took a report, and then began an investigation. In the upcoming days, when Ms. Montero failed to update any of her social media accounts, the police began to continue in their investigation and ultimately brought Mr. Groom in for an interview. Mr. Groom reported that Ms. Montero was approximately 11 weeks pregnant, and she told him that he was the father of the baby, that on August 6th, she had left a residential program and took a rideshare to his house. She was looking to stay with him, and an argument ensued about whether or not he would allow her to stay on his property. When the police began to question him and other family members, they learned from Ms. Montero's sister that on August 6th, when she had arrived at his house, that there was an altercation between Mr. Groom and Ms. Montero. Ms. Montero texted a sister that he threw me on the ground and pulled my hair and strangled me. My phone is at 4%, and if I die, it was Greg. Family members then tried to communicate with Ms. Montero and get her to a place of safety, and she didn't respond right away. Ultimately, there was a response from her device that indicated she was attempting to continue to stay at Mr. Groom's residence.
Look at his ears.
There was a search that was conducted on August 14th of Mr. Groom's property at 107 County Street in Rehoboth, which is approximately a 25-acre property. That search involved members of the State Police CERT team, the Air Wing, divers, cadaver dogs, and nothing of significance was found during that search. However, based on the failure of Ms. Montero to contact any friends or family, the police continued their investigation. Ultimately, yesterday on August 19th, Mr. Groom reported to the Rehoboth Police Station for an interview. During that interview, he admitted that on August 6th, he got into an altercation with Ms. Montero where he pushed her, she fell backwards, and she hit her head. When she attempted to contact an individual, Mr. Groom admitted that he knocked her cell phone out of her hand, at which time he was going to be charged with the 3 offenses for assault and battery on domestic assault and battery on a pregnant person, and for intimidation of a witness. When investigators continued to press Mr. Groom on
so that should be 2 charges. You murdered her, and you murdered an unborn baby. That's 2 counts of capital murder right there. Should be capital murder. Hi, Shelley. How are you? You
Ms.
look
Montero,
like
they informed him that they had applied for and were granted a search warrant for an extensive search of 107 County Street. That included not only cadaver dogs, but excavators, chemists from the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab, and other investigators, and they informed Mr. Groom that they were prepared to search the property and dig if necessary. Mr. Groom then paused. He was given an opportunity to tell the police where Ms. Montero's body was located, either by being taken to his property and pointing it out, or drawing a map, or telling the officers where her body was located, as they believed Ms. Montero was dead. Mr. Groom ultimately drew a rudimentary map indicating that he got into an argument behind a shed on the property where he was known to stay and where Ms. Montero stayed, that during that altercation, Mr. Groom admitted that he stabbed Ms. Montero twice in the neck and once in the chest. The stab wound to the chest actually broke the blade of the knife off. He used a kitchen knife to commit the stabbing, and based on that stabbing, Ms. Montero was deceased. Mr. Groom indicated to the police that he then spent several hours digging a hole in the woods, approximately 20 yards from where he killed Ms. Montero, and through the night after he dug, when the sun came up, he then pushed her body up the hole and covered it up. He drew on the map the approximate location of Ms. Montero's remains. Officers who were conducting the search warrant then went to the shed. They noticed there was a large pile of brush right next to the shed. That was what Mr. Groom used to cover up the site of the murder, to cover up blood that was ultimately recovered, and physical evidence was recovered from the scene where the police alleged the stabbing occurred. About 20 yards away in the woods, there was another large pile of brush with feet upon feet of trees, cut down trees that were piled up. Underneath that pile, the police located a rectangular hole that appeared that had been recently disturbed dirt. When the police ultimately called in medical examiners to uncover that hole, a body consistent with Kylie Montero was discovered approximately 5 feet underground. Ms. Montero's remains were recovered last evening, and her body is at the office of the chief medical examiner undergoing identification process and undergoing an autopsy. Based on this case, the defendant's confession and the prior domestic, the Commonwealth asked the
only
court to hold the
super glue,
defendant
Joyce,
without bail.
just super glue.
No argument, Your Honor.
Trying to be held without bail.
Without bail.
This would be in for counsel for a probable cause hearing.
Just throw your life away.
About 30 days out.
Sure, whatever date works for you.
About
Thank you, Charlie, my love.
September.
Charlie, are you going live? You getting ready to go live?
September 9th.
That's fine. Problem cause.
Oh, can we do the 10th
George, I need
instead,
some new
Your Honor?
candles.
Whatever day works for you.
Thank you.
September 10th, the probable cause.
So he's being held without bail.
Thank you,
Good for him.
thank you, Madam Clerk.
But we have one more, and well, I have two more.
Well, a father in Marion County is livid after he claims that a neighbor bullied his disabled kids. Now, here's the catch. He says the bully is a 61-year-old man.
Yeah, deputies say this man timed his sprint.
This man was bullying this disabled child. Every time he would get on the school bus, he would turn the sprinklers on. When the school bus would pull up, he would turn the sprinklers on. So the daddy called the police. They started watching. And now his ass is arrested and charged with a felony for assault.
To go off as those kids in wheelchairs were getting on and off the school bus. Fox 35's Marie Edinger is joining us live in that neighborhood tonight. So Marie, this entire family got soaked.
We're calling him a bully, but the Marion County Sheriff's Office is calling this guy a criminal. He wound up charged with multiple charges of aggravated assault on disabled children and aggravated assault on this father. He also has charges for stalking. We're going to talk about all of that. But the Marion County Sheriff's Office says the father actually wound up wearing a bathing suit to the bus stop every day just to make sure he could block his kids from that sprinkler shooting at them. 61-year-old Antonio Roman is accused of weaponizing his sprinkler system to shoot water at his neighbor's disabled kids getting on their bus.
School bus is arriving, sprinklers are off at 08:11 hours.
A corporal with the Marion County Sheriff's Office staked out the neighborhood, watching as the school bus pulled up.
Sprinklers are now activated as the bus stopped.
He looked on as only the sprinklers pointing toward the bus turned on, and the rest of the yard remained dry. The water sprayed directly toward Kevin Martin and his children.
I found it shocking and kind of appalling, but also huge kudos to the father of this family. He had started wearing swim clothes to get his children on the bus so that he could use his body as a shield to protect his kids.
Once the bus left,
and sprinklers are now off and disengaged.
Clearly not enough time to water your lawn, just enough time to really disturb and distress the family next door as they're trying to just get their children to school.
That wasn't the first time deputies had been out to the house. In fact, neighbors told me law enforcement is there somewhat often.
I mean, this has been going on for a long time with him.
Why are you living, hostile with your neighbor? That doesn't make no sense to me.
In one case, records show Roman called to complain about the school bus, and the deputy suggested he call the school board to get the bus stop changed. A different incident report mentioned surveillance video allegedly showing Roman yelling at a
Now, why would you get the school bus stop changed when this idiot is behaving like that? I don't know if they have an HOA there or not. I'm not sure, but this man has been a menace to all of his neighbors, and I'm glad his ass is arrested. But I'm going to tell you, he's not going to change. This is one of these neighbors that you see on ID Discovery where, the neighbor is nuts, and then he gets into an altercation with his other neighbor, and he wind up shooting or burning a house down. around or doing all kinds of crazy shit. That's the kind of neighbor I think he is. I had a neighbor like that in Atascocita when we bought the house, and I guess he thought we were renting the house, and he came out. He goes, well, my bedroom window is right there, and I go to work at night and I sleep during the day, and because my son had came in from Maryland for a visit, and he goes, so my son was out in the driveway washing his car and stuff, and he says, you know, if you can keep, my son looked at him, he says, that's not my problem. That's not my problem. And then he comes and rings the doorbell to talk to me. I said, that's, again, not my problem. I said, I'm sure you have at least 3 other bedrooms in that house that you can go sleep in. And we couldn't put up a fence. It was against HOA. You can only have a fence in the backyard from the garage to the other side of the house. You couldn't put up a fence there. So he learned really quick. Don't come into my yard. Don't come over here telling me shit, because you're not going to like my response. Okay? That's what he learned.
Delivery truck driver who partially blocked his driveway before going inside to get a gun. That incident came up in a cease and desist Martin sent Ramon in January of last year, where he accused Ramon of threatening and harassing him and his children. Ramon filed a lawsuit against Martin a few months later, accusing him of blocking the driveway. Meanwhile, the neighborhood HOA has a lawsuit against Ramon for...
I didn't see that. So he has, look at his leg. Look, they must have been in an accident. Look. This is me assuming. Could have been in an accident. He's in a wheelchair. He's got a prosthetic leg.
Of blocking the driveway. Meanwhile, the neighborhood HOA has a lawsuit against Ramon for covering his driveway with metal spikes.
An HOA. Okay. All right. See, I didn't listen to all of this. I didn't listen. I said, fear my neighbor. The man had a gun. I didn't listen to all of this one.
Lawsuit against Ramon for covering his driveway with metal spikes and putting up an unapproved fence.
Oh my! I did not listen to all of this. That's a barricade. What the hell? Fear thy neighbor. Fear thy neighbor.
I did try to talk with Ramon, no luck there. He's got a court date coming up in about a month. Live in Ocala, Marie Ettinger, Fox 35 News.
He's dry. Okay, I'm going to show you this last story.
Morning, Your Honor. Jason Mohan for the Commonwealth.
This is the one I wanted.
She thought she was meeting a client for work, but instead, Atlanta police say one of their own turned the interaction into a nightmare.
And now that officer is behind bars. Here's his mugshot, folks. Muhammad was arrested today. He's charged with rape and false imprisonment.
11 Alive's Angelina Salcido is live from the Fulton County Jail over on Rice Street, where Muhammad is being held. Angelina, you went to the neighborhood where this happened and found out he actually lived there.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what neighbors told us earlier today. They say that they welcomed him into the community, never imagining that he would be charged with rape and false imprisonment. Now, the shock and betrayal of his arrest today leaves them wondering how this could happen so close to home.
He was a cool cat to me.
Unassuming.
Like, when you look at him, you wouldn't think that, you know what I mean, he was that type of person.
A man who took the oath to protect and serve, charged for a heinous act. Now former Atlanta police officer Muhammad in a jail cell after an investigation found enough probable cause for officers to charge him with rape and false imprisonment.
Like, that's crazy. So how you gonna put somebody over here like that?
For sure.
You know what I mean? That's not right.
He was just
That's not right. And these kids over here.
It's crazy.
Like, he could have did something to a little girl or something.
Neighbors had no idea what was happening behind these walls. Detectives say Muhammad booked a massage at his Oakland City apartment on June 6th. The victim says Muhammad agreed to pay for the massage, but became aggressive and started physically touching her when the massage started. Police say she asked him to stop. He sexually assaulted her, threatened her with a gun, and took the payment back. The victim reported what happened 2 days later.
We need to go out of jail.
74 days later, Muhammad was arrested, charged, and fired.
Man, he just up and left.
He just up and left.
With no, you know what I mean? He ain't let nobody, he was just out of there.
You just stopped seeing the police car.
You just stopped seeing the police car part.
Who's this stop seeing the police car part?
Now, Mohammed was put on leave in June pending an internal investigation. Chief Schierbaum terminated him today after a judiciary hearing. We're live tonight in Atlanta. Angelina Salcido, 11 Alive News.
Angelina, thanks.
Thank you, Angelina. But again, can't trust cops either. We see that now. Cannot trust cops. So we've covered a lot of cases this morning. We have covered a lot of cases, a lot of news this morning. And I want to say thank you. But we've covered a lot of news. These are things that I saw that interest me and I found very disturbing. I'm still following the case of Brian Vasquez, the 12-year-old missing out of Louisiana. My sister sent me a video. Hold on a second. Let me go to my TikTok. Let me go to my TikTok because my sister sent me the video that I was looking for, that she had sent to me, and I couldn't find it. I'm not drawing no damn puzzle. It's me. I'm not drawing the puzzle. Okay, let me go to my profile. Let me go to my messages. Hold on. Damn. My sister's video. Okay, hold on a second, guys. Let me stop. Okay, hold on. Let me stop it. Let me share my screen real quick. And then I'm going to get out of here. Good morning, Crystal Fan always. Good morning. All right. Here's the video that I wanted to show you. Let me see. Can I make this bigger? Nah, I can't. But this is the video right here with him going to the neighbor's house. And I think this is the one with him dancing on. Why isn't it playing? It was just playing for me.
Brian Vasquez. Good evening and thanks for watching.
He's got a diaper on.
I'm Sharice Gibson. Vasquez, who is autistic and nonverbal, was captured on a neighbor's security camera early Thursday morning. Well, tonight we lay out a timeline while Brian's mother clings to hope.
Our Whitney Miller joins us now from where that search took place today.
Yeah, earlier tonight, the Cajun Navy was out here using thermal drones to cover more ground area to see if they could spot any signs of Brian. Meanwhile, his family has been
that he would go out through a window.
When family called police, they say his mother realized he was missing.
She told his sister that shares a room with him, so he wasn't by himself in the room. He was
Morning, around 5:30 a.m., Ring cameras captured 12-year-old Brian Vasquez wandering his New Orleans East neighborhood in just a diaper. Hours later,
you see him on camera, right? Why can't you see who picked him up? He was actually dancing in the damn street. Okay, he was dancing in the street. Now they're saying that he shared a room with his sister. Okay, so school has started in New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken. The mother had the sister in the room with him.
His mother realized he was missing.
At 10 o'clock in the morning.
His sister that shares a room with him, so he wasn't by himself in the room. He was in the room with his sister to lock the bedroom door so he doesn't go out. We never imagined that he would go out through a window.
When family called police, they say it took hours for officers to respond.
It was 5 hours at that point that they hadn't come out. And so we went to the police station because when I called,
at 4 o'clock.
I was told, ma'am, we already got that call. And he's on a, we are waiting for officers to be available to answer this call. I'm sorry, that is not acceptable.
By Friday morning, law enforcement at every level was on scene, deploying drones, dogs, and airboats.
He's in desperate need to have his medicine administered several hours ago, so he missed that timeline. We just want to get him in custody safely and reunited with his family so we can get him the necessary medical treatment that he needs.
Volunteers also joined in, like Gail Perez, who works with children who have disabilities.
My sister was out there as well.
And right around the corner, so yeah, so I came out to help look.
State police also issued a level 2 endangered missing child advisory, an alert that puts Brian's information on highway boards and social media. By the weekend, the search expanded to canals and bayous, with alligators, snakes, and coyotes posing real danger.
It's tough. It's a tough situation, and we're trying to come up with a positive resolution, bring him home hopefully alive, but if not, be able to reunite him with his family.
On Sunday, day 3, Brian's mother pleaded for anyone with information to come forward.
So I still have hope that my son is with someone, maybe alive, and I just want them to
So
return my child.
Monday, police confirmed the case had been turned over to their Special Victims Division, and they're asking the community to recheck home security footage, backyards, and sheds for any sign of Brian.
Again, the Cajun neighbor will be back out here bright and early tomorrow morning with that.
okay, what they're not saying is this, is that when they saw him on camera again, he was naked. He had no diaper on. He had no diaper on. Okay? He had no diaper on. So, I know for a fact there are cameras damn near on every street, probably 98% of New Orleans East, West Bank. There are cameras everywhere. Everywhere. You can't take those cameras and find out which direction this little boy went in. Bullshit. Bullshit. I don't believe it. So again, guys, have a great day. Crazy Cat Mama, I'm going to call you in about 15 minutes, if that's okay. Hi, Michelle LaBelle. I'll give you a call in about 15 minutes. And what else I want to tell you? Shit. Oh, Sister Wives is back for season 20. They said this is going to be a very explosive season. And also, Monday night, we have the tell-all for the Hunt for Love. And Suki, is it Suki? The one that does the tell-alls for Sister Wives, she is doing the interviewing now. So maybe Robin really was fired. Don't know. Don't know. But Suki is the one that's doing the interview or doing the stuff for Hunt for Love. And the I got a message the other day from Cynthia. I'm going to bring Cynthia up. She wants to, she's finished with all of her legal stuff now, and she wants to start coming back on the channel. So I will get her over here. And I told her that she needs to watch The Hunt for Love real quick. And then I said, just watch the tell-all, if nothing else, or catch a few episodes. But she hit me up. She's done with all of her legal stuff, and she wants to really come back and start doing shows over here. And I gave her the lineup on what I was doing. So I'll be having Cynthia on. Matter of fact, I'll probably call her sometime this weekend to get her schedule and to see what she wants to do. But when I saw she sent me a message. I'm like, oh shit, what's wrong? And she just wanted to touch base to let me know she's done with everything legal. And now she's starting up her own stuff again. And she doesn't have any. Yep, Sister Wives is done after season 20, JJ. They said this last season is going to be very explosive. So I cannot wait to see it. I can't wait to see Seeking Sister Wives as well. So it's going to be really, really good. But I appreciate all of you guys being here. And JJ, don't forget, I need my Dooney. I'm telling you what girl, I'm joking. I hope you know that, okay? But everybody come on live and they need this. I need a new Dooney, okay? I just need a new Dooney. I do. The one I have right now is 2 years old. I just need a new Dooney. That's it. I need a new Dooney. Or I'll take a Coach. Or I will take, I like Fossil bags too. But my, let me see. I already have 2 Gucci's. I don't need any more Gucci's. So yeah, I have a lot of Coach, Fossil, but I need another Dooney because that one feels kind of alone. And it cries all the time because it doesn't have a sister to go with it. But I know they say that every season. JJ, you would catch my lives, girl. I need to, when you're posting, if you and Sophie are going to go live, can you post it on your community tab, or Sophie, to give us a heads up, or do a trailer so we'll know that you guys are going to do a live together, and that way I can be there to watch. George, hopefully you'll go live today. Amber and Texas Girl is going to go live in about an hour and a half on Amber's channel. Don't know if Jen's going to do a live or not. Not sure. I don't see anything scheduled, but I will definitely, coaches. I know, girl, I love my Coach bags. I love my Coach bags. Love them. And I mean, I keep them in their dusters and everything. So I pulled out the other one that I normally travel with, which is my big one where I can put everything in. And, so I'm getting all of that ready to go, but I have my travel coach that I take on an airplane and everywhere else, because I can put the phones, the chargers, I can put my books in it. So I just pulled that one out the duster. She looking pretty sitting on the sofa. So I won't be live next week at all. Maybe Sunday. It depends on what time I get back, but I will see you guys. I'll be live this Saturday, and I'll be live maybe Sunday morning with Debbie, but I won't be live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I might do a pre-record on Platteville, because God damn, it's going to be good. I don't know how my reception is going to be, but I'll see. But thank you guys for being here. I'll DM you the live link on IG. Yes, that'll work for me, JJ. That'll work. And a lot of time I don't get community post notice any damn way. So I don't know why I even said that. If Hibernero posts something, she'll send me a link to it. I normally don't get those either. I'm going to hang out with my sons that don't like me, and my grandkids that don't like me. Chantel says she might go live. I need to catch up on Tim and Angela. I need to see what's going on with them. I know Lisa went live. And guys, when Lisa goes live, before she realizes she's live, she and Nate be plotting. You heard Nate telling her to do the thing you do. She goes, oh, the whining. And when she was live yesterday, Nate asked her if she wanted a sandwich. And Lisa started talking over him so nobody can hear it. Everybody heard it. So if people are still giving Lisa money, oh, well, I don't give a shit. I can't stand that bitch. I don't like her. And if she really wanted help, she would have gotten help. She doesn't want any help. She just wants to take people and use them for their money. So anybody that's still sending that piece of trash money, that's on them. I can care less. But now she's trying to get money for her and Nate. And if anybody pays attention, her thumbs and her forefingers are all black from soot on both hands. Her lips are burnt from the crack pipe. So, lips got burnt from the crack pipe, and people are still sitting there going, oh, thank you for the 5, thank you for the 2, and she's calling everybody fat. Bitch, if they're fat, they have food. They have a home where they can eat at. Your ass was living on the street till you hooked up with Narcan Nate. Hi, Jen. So I feel no empathy for her. She drops dead today or tomorrow, overdose. I can care fucking less. I can care less. She's disgusting. Then she gets up there and act like Nate's beating her up. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, guys, have a great day. Love you all. I will see you guys tomorrow or in somebody's chat. I'm sure I will see you in. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.